thought of the day, the first thought of the day of the year. Give it up for Emily.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
So I'm going to call this the lesson. So I don't know, I've talked about the ego. I don't know if you guys remember, but you know, this holiday break, I went through something and I missed the lesson. You know, and so moving forward in 2023, I want to be more vigilant and pay attention to the lessons. And I want to share this with you guys so that possibly you guys can pay attention to the lessons. So what happened was, you know, I had a disagreement with someone that I really loved, you know, my stepdaughter. And, you know, there's things about her that, you know, ain't always easy for me to accept, you know, and because of the things that I've been through and stuff, like a lot of times I find myself wanting to be like, do it this way, do it that way, because, you know, in my heart, I'm trying to prevent them from having some of the hardships that I've had, you know, and I've been listening to Marion Wilson again, you know, she's my go-to when I'm struggling, and she talks about the ego voice, and the ego voice is always the loudest. And it's the one that we attach to the fastest because it's easy. You know, the still, quiet voice, which I identify as God, the ego voice sometimes drowns it out. You know, all of us have, whether you believe in God or, you know, just, you know, karma, whatever, we have that, you know, that little voice inside of you that, you know, like if you really just slow down, it'll tell you the right direction. But when I'm angry, or I think I'm right, I'm listening to the ego all the way. You know, and Jose said this before, how the ego will tell you to do something, and then later on tell you, see, dummy, see what you did? And I had that experience, you know, and I had this disagreement. And then later on I was crying and felt so bad. The same ego that tore my stepdaughter up was telling me, look how dumb you are, you know? And now I was hurting. I hurt her and I was hurting too. So I've been thinking and I was like, dang, what happened was there was a lesson. See, the universe, how many of you guys have ever said, why do I keep attracting these dysfunctional men? Or why do I keep just, getting these dysfunctional women? Or why do I always get this crappy job, right? We think that like the universe keeps bringing us, like we have bad luck, it keeps bringing it to us. No, the universe brings it to us because there's a lesson in it. And until we can get that lesson and be successful in that lesson, it's not that you're bad or that you attract bad, it's that you need to learn the lesson. You know, and so for me the lesson was that like, no matter how much I disagree with anyone, not even just my stepdaughter, you know, like a client, anyone, friends, partners, like, how do I look at them without judgment? And how do I accept them for who they are? And how do I go through the lesson and love them? And I don't have to give my opinion. I don't have to be right. I don't have to save them, you know, because in my head I'm like, do it this way so that you don't, it's not my thing to do. You know, each person has to go through their lesson. And my lesson is to accept you just the way you are. And maybe even look, and I was thinking of, gee, like the way he accepts all of us, right? Unconditional. My lesson this year is to accept everyone unconditionally because I don't know what they've been through. I don't know what they've been through. I don't know what they're going through. I don't know what they're thinking. I could think I do, but I really don't. So the lesson is just to accept and appreciate people and try to be aware. You know, if something triggers you, look into you and say, what is the lesson that this person or this situation is bringing to me this year? Thank you.